Hey guys, so in today's video what I want to touch on briefly, and it's a question that I get a lot, is if you need an LLC for your business. So one thing I want to start off with is an LLC tends to be a legal entity. It's not necessarily a tax status. A lot of people get that confused. So what an LLC is doing, for my case, I'll use as an example. I have Fred Pacelli, the CPA, but then I also have Pacelli Accounting Services. Pacelli Accounting Services is the LLC that is separate from Fred Pacelli, the CPA. So I operate out of Pacelli Accounting Services for legal benefits to separate Fred Pacelli and Pacelli Accounting Services. This is for liability purposes and other types of lawsuits, anything to really protect you from that. Now, the tax status of the LLC is something completely different. So as an LLC, you could still be taxed as a sole proprietor, which would be a disregarded entity. You could be taxed as a partnership. You could be taxed as an S Corp. So just because you're an LLC, you're still gonna have to figure out how you're gonna be taxed. Are you gonna be taxed as a sole member S Corp? Do you have multiple partners? So it might be a multi-member LLC or some form of partnership, or just a disregarded entity, which is basically a sole proprietor. So the first thing to figure out is, are you in a business or a service line that you need to separate yourself from your business? So examples might be maybe contractors, construction, real estate, something with high liability where you really find the need to separate yourself from your business. In a lot of cases, people confuse the LLC with the tax status. The LLC, you could really just be an LLC and still get taxed as a sole proprietor, which is where you're going to be taxed at your individual tax rate. The key thing to ask your accountant at year end is, okay, are we going to go the S Corp route? Are we going to go the sole proprietor disregarded entity route? Or do we have multiple members of this LLC where we have to look into forming a partnership? At that point though, you should have already had the partnership prior to talking to your accountant. So key things are, LLC is a legal standpoint. It's a legal view of your business. And then the tax status is a little different, which would be examples of disregarded entities, S Corps,